Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 5, much needed rain has triggered mudslides up in Monterey County. A look at the damage and the rescues coming up. Plus, as another storm rolls through Kern County, we're watching weather on the grapevine after snow and wind shut down the much-used route to LA 3 days in a row. We'll have a live report on conditions still ahead. And the fight ignites on Capitol Hill over President Biden's COVID relief plan. Republicans and even some Democrats say there are just too many extras, and it's putting the entire bill in jeopardy. This is Thursday, January 28th, 2021. Good morning. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen, anchoring from here at home in a very windy Tehachapi. Alex Fisher down in studio. I hear the winds, though, are really everywhere here in Kern County right now.
I have never experienced this much wind. I cannot remember a time where we have been just blowing around for so long. The winds kept me up last night. The winds kept me up the night before. I almost feel like I'm actually in Tehachapi or in our mountain communities that deal with so much wind. And it's here in Bakersfield. And yes, all eyes this morning are on our local roads as this severe weather threatens to shut down some major freeways. And the concern is the Grapevine, where treacherous conditions have shut down the road for the last 3 days. 17's Moses Small is live there on the Grapevine this morning. And Moses, I know you're bracing for all those treacherous conditions that you've probably experienced over the last several minutes. How does it look out there this morning?
Alex, you are absolutely right. Well, the good news is that the Grapevine is open, and as you can see behind me, traffic is flowing in both directions, but we are taking note of this wind. We still have that winter storm warning from the National Weather Service, where they're predicting wind gusts could reach up to 70 miles per hour, and that is certainly the experience that we've had driving up here. You can hear the wind in your vehicle, and you can even feel it pushing on your car a bit. So California Highway Patrol is still advising drivers to be careful, to keep both hands on the wheel, slow down when possible, and keep a distance from other vehicles. And as we weather out the rest of this storm, they're also advising drivers to keep some supplies in your vehicle, such as a blanket or flashlight in case of an emergency. Because again, just because the roadway is dry does not mean that we are done seeing these treacherous conditions on the roadway. And these wind speeds are expected to keep on pushing. So here in the Tejon Pass, you can even hear the wind in my microphone right now. So the Grapevine is open, but all authorities are advising drivers to be careful, and I'll keep you posted on the condition of the Grapevine out here in the Tejon Pass.
All right, Moses, yeah, you're going to be out there all morning long. We'll check back in with you in about 30 minutes because, again, this is a situation that could change at a moment's notice. So you'll join us in about 30 minutes with another update. Thanks, Moses. And if the Grapevine does end up closing again, there are different options to reach Los Angeles or other areas of Southern California. The quickest option, of course, is the Highway 58 through Tehachapi and Lancaster, which will take an extra 30 minutes at minimum. But if the 58 shuts down, you'll have to swing all the way around to the coastline and get on the 101, which could take several extra hours.
Winds have been whipping up trouble all across the Golden Empire, while up north, it's the rain that has triggered mudslides. Check out the video of the mudslides in Monterey County. Officials say that, coupled with debris flow, has damaged 25 buildings in the city of Salinas. At least 2 people were hurt, and dozens of residents who ignored an evacuation notice had to be rescued. At the same time, at least 50 animals were rescued, mostly horses. This is in an area that was evacuated last year due to the river fire that burned more than 48,000 acres. More than 24 Bakersfield firefighters are in Monterey County assisting where needed right now. Here's a look at China Peak Ski Resort north of Fresno in the Sierra Nevada mountains. Ski resort owners and skiers are loving all the fresh powder. Operators say that they've received upwards of 3 feet of snow since Tuesday night and expect that to double by this time tomorrow. Wow. And what is good for the skier and snowboarder is also good for the farmer. Some of the runoff from the Sierra snowpack will be used to irrigate crops this summer. Back here at home, gusty winds have been a problem in the valley since early yesterday morning. The damage apparent in some areas. Christy Besselson sent us this video of a large tree that blew over and landed on top of 3 cars. It all happened around 1:30 yesterday afternoon. The city fire department came out to take the report. Besselson said she's still working with landlords to get that tree removed. Yeah, we're watching the winds here in Tehachapi and in Bakersfield, everywhere really. And the roads, it's hard to believe that we've seen 3 days in a row with the I-5 closed. It's good to know it's open this morning. Do you think it's going to stay that way, Kev?
Yeah, I think it'll stay open for most of today. We're going to have to watch snow levels tonight, but right now the snow level is hovering about 5,000 feet. That would put it above the Grapevine. So if we did see any moisture roll in right now, it would be in terms of rain. The other headline is the wind. And I was talking to colleagues earlier that in my 15 years here in Bakersfield, we've seen some windstorms, but I have never experienced a long-term wind event like this in the 15 years that I've been here. And it continues out there. We're still tracking that area of low pressure that will eventually bring us some rain into Kern County, but again, it has been stalling, and that's what has kept these winds just blowing. And you can see this satellite and radar looks exactly how it looked yesterday. All the rain along the coast, none of it really spreading inland. We just have some cloud cover and the winds that are still plaguing the area. Here's a look at the watches and warnings. We have extended the wind advisory now until 4 o'clock this afternoon. We have the winter storm warning in place until Friday at 4 a.m. And we have a high wind warning west of Kern County over the Kern County line until 10 a.m. this morning. So a lot of watches and warnings, and you can see our wind gusts. They are still pretty active, near 40 miles per hour in some areas around Bakersfield. And here are some wind gusts that I was able to find. They're kind of hard to find, to be honest with you. But out at Meadows Field, we've now clocked a wind gust of 44 miles per hour. The Grapevine had a peak gust yesterday of 81, Hart Flat at 40, and Bird Springs near Weldon, 39 mile per hour wind gust. Here's a look at our forecast, and those winds are going to continue today, but look by tonight, those winds finally come to an end, and that's because the system we are expecting to move inland and bring rain with it. 59 degrees in Bakersfield at this time, but a sustained wind out of the south-southeast at 30 miles per hour. And as we take a look at the day here, you can see the winds will continue, and then we introduce the chance of showers as we head into this afternoon. Temperatures will be into the 60s for the Tehachapi area, 38 degrees right now, an east-southeast wind at 20. And as we take a look at your day, we are going to keep those winds around, temperatures into the 40s, and then a chance of rain and snow coming in tonight. We'll take a closer look at this storm coming up in just a little bit. For now, we're going to send it back to you.
All right, Kev, thanks so much. President Biden is taking action today to help millions of Americans pay their medical bills as new numbers show the COVID-19 pandemic is getting worse. Tracy Potts takes a look at why people who want to get the vaccine can't.
Good morning, Alex. The government just can't get the vaccine out fast enough. Right now in most states, more people want the shots than shots available. And while the Biden administration tries to play catch up, the pandemic is getting worse.
In my view, we've already waited.
After taking action on climate change,
We can't wait any longer.
3 sources tell NBC today President Biden will sign orders to add more people to Medicaid and reopen Affordable Care Act marketplaces to Americans who need insurance during the pandemic.
This virus is mutating, and it's mutating fairly quickly.
The CDC says the new UK version of coronavirus is spreading fast in the U.S., now present in half the country, expected to be the primary strain by March. But vaccine distribution is slow. Only 1 in 16 people have received both shots.
Where are all these vaccine doses?
We expect to get the doses by mid to late summer.
Not soon enough. The CDC predicts the death toll will reach more than 500,000 in February. This has been the deadliest month since the pandemic began. The federal government's getting rid of its vaccine stockpile.
We are passing doses directly along to states very much in real time as they order them.
Now asking 10,000 troops to help. On Capitol Hill,
Why is it in there?
Republicans want to cut cybersecurity and a minimum wage hike out of President Biden's nearly $2 trillion COVID relief plan.
It really has nothing to do with COVID relief.
Democratic leaders are pushing for a vote soon.
Presidents of both parties.
But too soon could mean this passes with no Republican votes. And that is not what President Biden said he was going for. Now even some Democrats are balking at what they consider extras packed into this relief plan. I'm Tracy Potts, 17 News.
At first glance, it looked like the wind may have caused big problems at a local gas station, but that turned out to not be the case. It happened around 6:45 yesterday evening, and take a look at these pictures sent to us by viewer Brandon Barraza. It shows the awning of the Valero gas station in central Bakersfield collapsed. According to police, a man in a white SUV was headed the wrong way on East California Avenue. When he turned onto Union Avenue, the car hit a gas pump, then the support beams of that awning came crashing down. BPD says the clerk quickly shut off the emergency gas valve to prevent a gas leak. The driver was taken to Kern Medical with complaints of pain. BPD says it appears alcohol or drugs were factors in this crash. Welcome back. The historic Bakersfield Fox Theater is working on a passion project, and they need your help to do it. They're creating a book detailing the history of the theater. They're asking you to share photos and memories of the theater, whether it be a favorite concert or show, or if the theater holds a special place in your heart. Just last year, the theater celebrated its 90th birthday, and they want to bring those 90 years to life in this new book. They're also working with local teachers and students who will help write the book. You can email your photos and memories to them at history@thebakersfieldfox.com.
The pandemic has changed everything about the way we communicate, but for families dealing with Alzheimer's disease, it's critical to have a lifeline to the outside world. And that's where you come in. We partnered yesterday for a digital donation drive with the Alzheimer's Disease Association of Kern County. All day long, our generous viewers dropped off phones, tablets, and iPads, plus checks and cash to help families stay connected with ADAKC and its support services during these difficult times.
And we had a surprise from Hall Ambulance, who gave us a check for $1,000. And it's, community partners like that help us serve our mission and keep our mission in action in Kern County.
Executive Director Janelle Capper says she's grateful for the community's donations. In all, 30 devices were dropped off, along with enough money to serve a total of 50 families. And it's not too late to donate. Just text ADAKC to 41444. And a big thank you to everyone who came down yesterday in the spirit of the Golden Empire.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. The coronavirus pandemic has changed the way we live, and for some, what we look for in a living situation. Now, in some of the nation's hottest markets, developers, designers, and realtors are adapting for a new COVID-conscious era. NBC's Liz McLaughlin has more.
We all hear each other all the time.
Working and schooling from home is still an adjustment for many.
I attend Zoom University now.
Making open floor plan homes less desirable than they once were.
Having that ability to close a door is the utmost importance.
Realtors say the pandemic is changing priorities for buyers.
One is what outdoor spaces are they offering? What kind of COVID-conscious systems do they have in place in order to make me feel safe if it's a large condominium?
Some multifamily designers are starting to move away from co-working layouts, opting instead for pod-style features.
The major thing that we've been trying to implement in a lot of our upcoming projects are just creating private spaces.
Now, condo and apartment buildings are advertising touchless technology, such as voice-activated elevators and robots that can deliver goods, park cars, and sanitize spaces. This hospital-grade germ-zapping robot disinfects the Paramount luxury condo building at Miami World Center, a 27-acre mixed-use development where developer Daniel Codsey will soon be breaking ground on a new project.
We, in essence, look at Legacy as becoming pandemic-proof.
Legacy is designed to include a hotel, residential units, and medical facilities, all under one roof.
This is an area where you can possibly shelter in place because you have a medical center, you have a pharmacy. You'd have the opportunity to do testing right there on site.
A glimpse into the future, where COVID changes may dictate designs, even after the pandemic is over. Liz McLaughlin, NBC News.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.